On a distant planet named Zarnath, the skies were dark and filled with smoke. Alien soldiers fought bravely against a fierce enemy. Among them was a young warrior named Kalen. He had bright green skin and eyes that glowed like stars. Kalen loved his home and would do anything to protect it. The battle raged on, with blasts of energy lighting up the sky. Kalen fought alongside his comrades, but the enemy was strong. They were ruthless and outnumbered the Zarnathians. Kalen felt fear creeping into his heart, but he pushed it aside. He had trained for this moment and was determined to defend his world. Suddenly, a loud explosion echoed through the air. Kalen turned just in time to see one of his friends fall, injured. Without thinking, he rushed to help, dodging blasts and flying debris. He managed to pull his friend to safety, but as they moved, an enemy soldier caught sight of them. Kalen fought back, but he was hit in the shoulder by a powerful beam. Pain shot through him and he fell to the ground. As Kalen lay there, he looked around. The battle seemed to be slipping away from them. His comrades fought bravely, but many were hurt or captured. Despair filled him. He reached for his communication device, hoping against hope that someone would hear him. With shaky hands, he pressed the button and sent out a distress signal, knowing that this might be his last chance. "Please, anyone, help us," he whispered, his voice barely audible. Kalen closed his eyes, feeling the weight of his situation. He knew that calling for help was a long shot. The universe was vast, and who would care about a small planet like Zarnath? Meanwhile, back on Earth, a group of soldiers sat in a control room. The lights flickered as they monitored various signals from across the galaxy. When the distress signal from Kalen's planet came through, the room fell silent. Captain Maria, a fierce leader known for her bravery, quickly took charge. "Listen up, everyone! We've got a distress call from Zarnath. An alien soldier needs our help," she announced, her voice steady and commanding. The soldiers exchanged glances, unsure but intrigued. "Why should we help them?" "They're not human," one soldier asked, his brow furrowed. Maria turned to him, her eyes fierce. "Because that's what we do. We help those in need. It doesn't matter if they are human or not. If someone is in danger, we have to act." The team members nodded, feeling inspired by her words. They quickly gathered their gear and prepared for the mission. Excitement and determination filled the air. They were ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. As the humans boarded their ship, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. They checked their weapons and ensured all systems were ready. The ship's engines roared to life, and soon they were soaring through the stars, heading toward the unknown. Back on Zarnath, Kalen lay on the ground, feeling weak. The battle continued around him, but he couldn't move. He thought about his family and friends, wondering if he would ever see them again. As he drifted in and out of consciousness, a glimmer of hope sparked within him. Maybe, just maybe, someone would come to save him. Suddenly, a bright light appeared in the sky. Kalen squinted, struggling to see through the haze. Was it the end, or was it the arrival of help? He felt a rush of adrenaline as he realized it could be the humans coming to rescue him. The thought filled him with a mix of fear and excitement. With all his strength, Kalen called out one last time, "Help! Please!" But the noise of the battle drowned out his voice. Would anyone hear him in time? As the light grew closer, Kalen's heart raced. He was determined to survive, to fight for his home, and to welcome his unexpected allies. Little did he know, this would be the beginning of a new friendship and a fight for freedom that would change everything. The ship raced through the darkness of space, heading toward Zarnath. Inside, Captain Maria and her team were focused. Each member felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. They knew the mission was dangerous, but they were ready to help. Maria stood at the front of the ship, looking at her crew. "We need to stay sharp. We don't know what we'll face when we arrive. But remember, we are here to save lives," she said, her voice strong and encouraging. The crew nodded, feeling motivated. There was Specialist Leo, a tech expert who could fix anything, and Sarah, a skilled medic ready to help anyone in need. Then there was Mark, a sharpshooter with a steady aim. Each person on the team had a role to play, and they knew they had to work together. As they flew through the stars, Leo monitored the ship's systems. "We're getting close," he said, looking at the screen. "We'll arrive at Zarnath in 10 minutes. I'm picking up signs of a battle on the planet's surface." Maria's heart raced. She glanced at the other crew members. "Prepare for landing. We need to be ready for anything." Everyone moved quickly, double-checking their gear and weapons. When they finally reached Zarnath, the sight was shocking. Smoke filled the air, and flashes of light from energy blasts lit up the planet's surface. The team could hear distant explosions and cries of battle. Maria's resolve strengthened. They had to get down there and find the alien soldier who called for help. The team descended in a small drop ship, and as they landed, the sound of chaos surrounded them. Maria led the way, stepping out with her weapon drawn. "Stay close and follow my lead," she shouted. The ground shook as they moved forward, and they quickly spotted Zarnathian soldiers fighting bravely against the enemy. Maria noticed one soldier on the ground, struggling to get back up. It was Kalen. He looked weak and in pain, but there was a fire in his eyes. "Over there!" Sarah shouted, pointing to Kalen. "We have to help him!" Maria nodded and led the team toward the injured soldier. As they ran, enemy forces noticed them and began firing. "Take cover!" Maria yelled. They ducked behind a rock formation, returning fire to protect themselves. Kalen watched in awe as the humans fought. He had never seen such bravery. They moved with purpose, their teamwork impressive. Leo worked quickly, using his tech to create a shield around Kalen, protecting him from the blasts. "Hang on, we're here to help!" Maria called out to Kalen, who could hardly believe his eyes. He was amazed that these humans would risk their lives for him. As the battle intensified, Sarah rushed to Kalen's side. "You're going to be okay," she assured him, quickly checking his wounds. "We need to get you out of here." Kalen nodded, feeling gratitude wash over him. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice weak but filled with hope. He had never imagined that help would come from beings so different from him. "On my count, we need to move," Maria shouted, scanning the area for threats. 1, 2, 3. With that, they lifted Kalen together. The alien soldier leaned on Sarah for support, and they made their way back toward the ship. The humans fought off enemies, their courage shining through the chaos. "Keep moving! We're almost there!" Maria yelled, pushing her team forward. Kalen felt a surge of energy as he saw the ship in the distance. Hope filled his heart. Finally, they reached the drop ship, and everyone piled inside. Leo activated the engines, and they took off just as a blast hit the ground where they had just stood. As they soared into the sky, Kalen looked back at his planet. He was filled with mixed emotions, relief for his life, sadness for his home, and awe for the humans who saved him. "We did it," Maria said, smiling at her team. "We saved him." Kalen turned to the humans, gratitude shining in his eyes. "Thank you for coming to help me. I will never forget this." The humans exchanged smiles, knowing they had made a new friend and ally. Together, they would face whatever came next, united against a common enemy. The ship flew through the vastness of space, leaving the chaos of Zarnath behind. Inside, the atmosphere was filled with excitement and a bit of nervousness. Kalen, the alien soldier, sat in a corner watching the humans as they worked. He was amazed by their technology and their determination. Captain Maria stood at the control panel, focused on their path. "We need to get to safety first," she said. "Then we can plan our next move." Her voice was steady, but she felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. They had saved Kalen, but the fight was far from over. As the ship sped through the stars, Specialist Leo checked the ship's systems. "Everything looks good," he reported. "We should reach our base in about 30 minutes. He smiled, feeling proud of their successful rescue. Sarah, the medic, busied herself tending to Kalen's wounds. "You're going to be okay," she reassured him, applying bandages with gentle hands. Kalen winced at first, but soon relaxed, grateful for her care. He had never experienced kindness like this before. "Thank you," Kalen said, his voice filled with emotion. "I owe you my life." Sarah smiled back. "We're a team. That's what we do. We help each other." Kalen nodded, feeling a deep bond forming with these humans. As they traveled, Mark, the sharpshooter, walked over to Kalen. "So what's it like on Zarnath?" he asked, curious. "We've never met aliens before." Kalen hesitated, thinking of his home. "It is beautiful, but dangerous now. The enemy came without warning. Many of my friends are gone." His voice trembled slightly, and the humans listened intently, sensing his pain. "Why are they attacking?" Maria asked, wanting to understand the situation better. "They want our resources. Zarnath has minerals that power their ships. They believe they can take what they want," Kalen explained, anger rising in his voice. "But we will not give up without a fight." Maria nodded, impressed by his spirit. "We won't let that happen. We'll help you defend your planet." As the ship continued its journey, Kalen began to feel more comfortable with the humans. He watched them share stories, laugh, and support each other. He realized they were more than just soldiers. They were friends. Suddenly, Leo's voice broke the chatter. "Captain, we have incoming signals!" His fingers danced over the controls as he tried to decipher the messages. "It's the enemy! They must have tracked us!" Maria's heart raced. "Everyone prepare for battle! We need to stay alert." She quickly moved to the control panel, ready to take action. Kalen felt a surge of adrenaline. He might be injured, but he was determined to help. "I can fight!" he shouted, surprising everyone. "I may be weak, but I will not sit back." Sarah looked at him with concern. "You need to rest. You're not fully healed yet." Kalen shook his head. "I cannot let you fight alone. I will fight for my planet and for you." His determination was clear, and the humans admired his bravery. Maria smiled at Kalen. "All right, we'll find a way for you to help. But first we need to get through this." As the enemy ships closed in, Leo worked frantically at the controls. "They're gaining on us. We need to do something fast. Mark, prepare to shoot," Maria commanded. "Leo, can you create a diversion?" Leo nodded, quickly typing commands into the ship's computer. "I can send out a signal to confuse them. It should buy us some time." "Do it!" Maria ordered, her voice firm. Leo pressed a button, and suddenly, a series of bright lights burst from the ship, creating a dazzling display. The enemy ships hesitated, momentarily distracted. "Now, Mark!" Maria yelled. Mark took aim and fired. His shot struck one of the enemy ships, causing it to spiral away. "Got one!" he cheered, adrenaline pumping through him. Kalen watched in awe. He realized he had joined a team of skilled fighters who cared deeply for each other. In that moment, he felt a strong sense of hope. Together, they could face anything. As the enemy regrouped, the humans prepared for the next phase of their journey. They had come together as a team, ready to protect not only each other, but also a planet that was now home to their newfound friend. The battle was just beginning, and they would face it together. The ship flew through space, approaching Zarnath once more. Inside, tension filled the air. Captain Maria looked around at her team, all ready for the upcoming fight. Kalen, the alien soldier, sat beside her, determined to help save his home. "Listen up, everyone," Maria said, her voice strong. "Our mission is to rescue the Zarnathian people and stop the enemy from taking control of the planet. We know they are powerful, but we are stronger together." The crew nodded, feeling the weight of their mission. Kalen felt a mix of fear and hope. He had never fought alongside humans before, but he believed in them. They had saved his life, and now they were here to save his people. As they landed, the ship shook from the impact. "We're on the ground! Everyone gear up!" Maria ordered. Each member grabbed their weapons and prepared to move out. Kalen picked up a weapon, feeling its weight in his hands. It was different from what he was used to, but he was ready. The doors opened, and they stepped out into a war zone. Smoke filled the air, and the sounds of battle echoed around them. Kalen's heart raced as he saw his fellow Zarnathians fighting bravely against the enemy. He felt a surge of pride, but also a deep sadness for those who were losing their fight. "Follow me," Maria shouted, leading the way into the chaos. They moved as a unit, sticking close together. Mark and Leo took the lead, scouting the area for threats. Kalen stayed close to Sarah, who had a determined look on her face. As they navigated through the destruction, they spotted a group of Zarnathian soldiers pinned down behind a barricade. "We need to help them!" Kalen yelled, pointing in their direction. Maria nodded. "Let's move! Cover each other!" They rushed toward the soldiers, ducking behind debris to avoid enemy fire. Mark took aim and fired, hitting an enemy soldier. "We've got your back!" he shouted to the Zarnathians. The Zarnathians looked surprised to see humans fighting beside them. Kalen quickly introduced himself, explaining their mission. "We are here to help! Let's push forward together!" With renewed strength, the Zarnathians joined the humans. Together, they launched a counterattack. Kalen felt the rush of adrenaline as he fought alongside his new allies. He fired his weapon, surprising himself with how quickly he adapted. "Watch out!" Sarah yelled, pointing to an enemy soldier aiming at Kalen. Before he could react, Maria fired and hit the enemy, saving Kalen just in time. "Stay close!" she advised, giving him a reassuring smile. The team continued to fight, moving deeper into the battle zone. They reached a building where they heard cries for help. "We have to check it out," Leo said, his eyes wide with concern. As they entered the building, they found a group of captured Zarnathian civilians. They looked scared but hopeful when they saw the humans. We're here to rescue you, Kalen announced, his voice filled with determination. Follow us! Sarah began to free the captured civilians while Maria kept watch. Hurry! We don't have much time, she urged. The civilians nodded, gathering their strength to escape. Just as they were about to leave, the building shook from an explosion outside. Dust and debris fell around them. We need to go now, Maria shouted. With the civilians safe, they rushed out into the open. But outside, the enemy forces had regrouped and were ready for them. Maria quickly assessed the situation. We can't let them take back the civilians. We need to create a diversion. Let me handle it, Leo said, his eyes gleaming with confidence. He rushed forward using his tech skills to set up a series of explosive devices. This will buy us time. As Leo worked, Mark and Kalen prepared to defend their position. Get ready, Mark shouted, taking aim at the approaching enemies. Now! Leo yelled, activating the explosives. A series of loud bangs echoed through the area, causing chaos among the enemy ranks. Smoke filled the air, giving them the cover they needed. Move, move, move! Maria commanded. The team dashed toward their ship, civilians in tow. Kalen felt a surge of hope as they raced toward safety. They reached the dropship just as the enemy began to recover from the explosions. Get in! Maria shouted, ushering everyone aboard. As they climbed in, Kalen took one last look at his planet, vowing to return and fight for it again. The ship lifted off, and Kalen's heart swelled with gratitude for his human friends. They had saved him and his people. As they soared into the sky, he knew this was only the beginning of their journey together. The ship soared through space, leaving Zarnath and the chaos behind. Inside, the atmosphere was filled with relief and hope. Captain Maria stood at the front, her heart full as she looked around at her crew and their new Zarnathian friends. Kalen sat nearby, a smile on his face, grateful to be alive and surrounded by those who cared. Everyone, we did it, Maria said, her voice strong. We saved the Zarnathian civilians and we fought bravely together. I'm proud of each one of you. The crew cheered, and Kalen joined in, feeling a sense of belonging he had never known before. Sarah, the medic, began tending to the rescued civilians. You're safe now, she said kindly, applying bandages and checking for injuries. The civilians looked at her with gratitude, relief washing over their faces. They had been terrified, but now they felt hope. Kalen watched Sarah work, feeling thankful. You are very skilled, he said. Thank you for helping my people. Sarah smiled back, happy to help. As the crew settled into the ship, Leo checked the systems. We're good to go. We can head to our base and regroup, he said. But we need to keep an eye out for any enemy ships. Maria nodded, her mind already planning their next steps. Mark, the sharpshooter, leaned back in his seat. What's your plan, Kalen? What do you want to do now? He asked, genuinely curious. Kalen took a deep breath. I want to return to Zarnath. My people need help, and we need to fight back against the enemy. Together we can protect our home. Maria smiled at his determination. We'll help you. But first, let's get you all settled and safe. Then we can discuss our next move. The crew felt a strong sense of unity, knowing they were in this fight together. As they traveled, Kalen began to learn more about the humans. They shared stories and laughter, forming bonds that went beyond their differences. Mark told jokes about his training, making everyone laugh. Sarah shared funny stories from her time as a medic, bringing smiles to the group. Kalen listened closely, fascinated by their experiences. Your world sounds so different from mine, he said. But your friendship means more to me than anything. Leo chimed in. We're all in this together now. You're part of our team. Kalen felt warmth in his heart, realizing how special this moment was. After some time, they reached their base. As they landed, Maria turned to the crew. Let's take a moment to regroup and plan our next steps. We have work to do. The crew nodded, feeling the seriousness of their mission. Once inside the base, Kalen marveled at the humans' technology. Screens displayed maps and data, and soldiers moved around efficiently. It felt like a place of hope, ready to fight back against the enemy. Follow me, Maria said, leading Kalen to a conference room. We need to discuss how to prepare for the next battle. The crew gathered around the table, ready to listen. Kalen stood up, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. We need to unite the Zarnathian people. If we work together, we can push the enemy back. They believe they can take our planet, but they are wrong. Maria nodded, impressed. We'll help you contact the Zarnathian leaders. They need to know we're here to support them. As they discussed strategies, Kalen felt a deep bond forming with the humans. They were not just allies, they were friends. He realized how much he admired their bravery and determination. They had come to his rescue and now stood by his side in his fight. "Together we will show the enemy that Zarnath is not alone," Kalen declared, his voice strong and confident. The crew cheered, feeling inspired. After the meeting, they shared a meal together. Kalen tasted human food for the first time, trying pizza and other dishes. The flavor surprised him, and he laughed at how different it was from Zarnathian cuisine. "This is amazing," Kalen exclaimed, enjoying the food. The humans laughed, pleased to see him happy. As the night went on, they shared stories about their lives, their dreams, and their hopes for the future. Kalen felt more at home than ever. He knew they would face challenges ahead, but with his new friends by his side, he felt ready to take on anything. In that moment, Kalen realized that he had found a family in the humans. They were bound not just by their mission, but by friendship, trust, and a shared purpose. Together, they would fight for Zarnath, and together, they would win.